Content warning, this video contains racism, homophobia, all of the fun isms, and by fun, I'm being very sarcastic. Our culture's new obsession is so-called influencers, those at the top of social media, and their various love lives and business ventures. They're not celebrities in the traditional sense, but their apparent obtainability is what makes them so fascinating. However, that's nothing new. In the 1700s in London, courtesans were the focus of admiration and anger, with vicious satirical poems or pamphlets circulating about the most popular ones, and defences or apologies written by those in favour of her, very much like the expose and response videos today. When the film industry first sprang up, theatre performers very much looked down on the new stars, but the public was so intrigued by their private lives that gossip magazines soon followed. These people are interesting, whether you watch their videos or not. When the world is full of very real problems, sometimes I just want to see what's up with Jaclyn Hill's disastrous makeup launches. Sharing dislike or concern over particular creators is important, such as Francesca Ramsey's warnings against Shane Dawson. And when the whole internet disagrees, it's a pretty brave thing to do. Also, some content creators, for example PragerU and Stephen Crowder, are complicit in spreading misinformation and inciting hatred that needs to be countered. Or even if it's just a small thing a YouTuber said or did and you have strong feelings about it, get it out there a few times if necessary. However, there is another kind of naysayer, a more antagonistic kind, known as the Antifan. Antifans aren't inherently destructive. Most of us love bad films, bad books, or having a guilty laugh or grumble over creators we don't like. However, casual dislike can twist into something pretty unhealthy. Sites like Kiwifarms are infamous for sharing Google pics of people's houses, along with their home addresses, and this, along with their rampant homophobia, racism, transphobia and more, can be extremely dangerous. Rumours are also much more far-reaching these days, with social media and distortions of fact or outright lies quickly becoming truth in people's minds. There's a few theories on why an anti-fan might develop. Often people of colour and LGBTQ+ people are targeted because of who they are.
That some people are making the argument that it's not cis-sexist at all to only be attracted to people with one kind of genital.
That is a man!
Or perhaps due to a parasocial relationship, they started as a fan and were rejected or ignored in some way, even in their own perception. Perhaps they're projecting their own insecurities or perceived failures onto them, like many in the so-called Hayden Nation or anti-Anne Boleyn Reid and Chantal Marie community. Many of them say they started off as fans before noticing things they didn't like, which is perfectly natural, but followed it up by devoting entire channels and videos reacting to those one or two YouTubers, sometimes minutes after the original video was released. If you feel a particular creator is doing harm with their uploads, it's perfectly understandable that you'd want to counter that, but it reaches a point where it's a bit worrying.
Hi Ben, Kelly, hi there, Jennifer.
I know, Hannah, I've said that before and I've been mocked for it. She does look older than me.
So that should be coming soon. I'm gonna go get them myself.
They're so big.
He's going at it. Over there.
Oh, on the sofa.
Shoot. Did you open the wrong one?
Open up 19.
Yeah, they don't go in order.
Oh, okay.
No, they do. They go in order. Like 1, and then 2 would be... Where's the second one?
I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like me and Owen, again, everyone's like relationship's completely different, but like me and Owen don't raise voices at each other.
Trisha Paytas is a controversial YouTuber, and there are plenty of valid criticisms against her. However, every time I visit Guru Gossiper, I'm taken aback by the posts there. Continue to sniff and penetrate that rotten, diseased vag while getting mentally and physically abused, Moses. Oh, and your complexion haven't been looking so great either. How old are you, Moses? 50, because you sure look like it. Her fat, compulsive liar ass even goes as far as saying that when she was 17, she was sleeping in her own piss on the streets. Old ass bitch, you're still sleeping in your own piss. Your entire pig pen of a house is a den of hoarse, sulphurous piss. What is it about this cretin, fassy, fat-ass gargoyle hoe that she thinks she can plop a pair of transparent glasses on her fat pig snout? Her entire life has been one giant social rejection. First her dad walked out of her life, mother was busy dating and working, her teachers and peers hated her, no man wanted to seriously date or marry her. No amount of love, support, success or material things will ever satisfy this hateful monster. She will die all alone. I remember popping on years ago to see someone wondering what may have led her to do a certain thing, which was bad, but unfortunately I can't find it now, and because there was a glimmer of an attempt to understand her on a human level, there was so much kickback. Apparently no one is interested if you're not just calling her a hobgoblin. Another thing I found interesting was this poster discussing her own weight issues. I'm the same age as Trisha and I find her actual size hard to gauge because it looks so different all the time to me, but to be honest I'm probably a bit bigger than her. I've had some bad times this year, hence the weight gain, but I'm back on track as of now before anyone comes for me. Which gives some credibility to the theory that the more superficial dislike could be projection. These sites can be interesting if you want to keep up with drama, but they'll always go to the least charitable reasoning behind someone's actions, and often events and situations are twisted to fit. Sad Puppies, Rabid Puppies and Comicsgate began life as a tidal wave of misogyny and racism towards diversity in science fiction, fantasy and comics. They were the ultimate anti-fans, harassing mainly people of colour, women and LGBTQ+ creators, and attempting to interfere with award votes.
Now, I actually heard from another professional today. Big name professional at DC Comics reached out to me and said, I'm going to come out soon. Isn't that funny that now coming out as gay is no big deal? In fact, it's pretty easy. Coming out as a Republican is something that terrifies people.
Please don't tell me it's Gail Simone. It'll break my heart.
Well, we got to take bets on who it is.
It was not Gail, please.
I heard it was Gail.
Recently, an article was published by author Jason Sanford, link in description, detailing threats of violence on the Baen Book Forum, which is known as Baen Bar, against diverse and left-leaning people. For all of the forum's existence, Baen Books has essentially adopted and encouraged an anything-goes rule for posts, and the forum is also known for an attitude of if you can't handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen, a saying frequently quoted on the forum. Remember that saying because it'll be used by a forum participant later in this report as a way of implying that advocating violence against others is no big deal. Baen Bar has also become well known in the genre community as a place where racism, sexism, homophobia and general fascism continually pop up. For example, a Baen Bar user from India was nicknamed the Swarthy Menace on the forum by author Tom Crapman. People on the forum thought that was the height of clever humour. A moderator with the username Theoryman wrote, "As I've already pointed out, rendering any large city uninhabitable is quite easy, and the left lives in cities. The question is just how many of its inhabitants will survive." Theoryman later in the thread suggested shooting transformers in cities with high-power rifles to make the cities uninhabitable until restored, adding in another post that the point is to kill enough of them that they cannot arise for another 50 years or more. User Brer Tiger also wrote in that thread, saying, "The problem isn't that you kill too many, but that you killed too few." Other users in the thread pointed out that it may be harder to destroy American cities than people think, saying that, for example, the water aqueduct for New York City is buried too deep to easily target. Note these users weren't saying the entire discussion was wrong, they were quibbling over what to target. Returning to discussions on the pending Second American Civil War, which appears to be a favourite topic on the bar, User Peak wrote on January 8th, 2021, that I can see a smallish force with good skills at explosive handling bringing a large city to its knees just through a few well-placed booms at some of the points I mentioned. These three groups see themselves as warriors of free speech, protecting their books and comics from the SJWs who don't even care about them, according to them, not taking into account that people of colour and LGBTQ+ people have had to put up with not seeing themselves represented in a medium they also loved up until recently. As time went on and the Comicsgate tide diminished, they turned on each other. By being such champions of free speech, they'd made a rod for their own backs, because the various dramas and scandals have mainly centred around whether or not to include fascists, like Vox Day, or hardline Christians, like Earthworm Jim creator Doug TenNapel or Mike S. Miller.
Yesterday, Vox Day. And Vox Day had written to me before. He sends me emails and he just said, "Hey, what is Comicsgate? Is it like, And I was like, well, it's basically for everyone." He's like, you can do whatever, we want to invite people in here. We want people to come and be a part of this. He decided to just hit me with this. And hitting me, I mean, not even just hitting me, but it feels personal, and it's not personal. I got to kind of take myself out of this. Because there are people who do sympathize with Vox Day. I'm not one of them. I've had Vox on, and as a person, Vox Day is very congenial. But Vox Day has some very toxic views that I'm sorry, I have to use the word toxic. If you use the 14 words, you know what the 14 words are?
Yeah, okay. I know what that is. Yeah, I was 1488.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
We don't want Nazis. We don't want Nazis. Now, it's not that you can't do your own comic books if you hold those views. You can, but what you can't do is sort of claim the title of Comicsgate and say all Comicsgaters can be published through me.
As even more time passed, the group frenzy died down further, and now many of the live streams seem to be infighting between various cantankerous naysayers, with nowhere else to direct their anger, with characters like Testify following larger Comicsgaters from stream to stream, accusing them of all manner of bizarre and unfounded things. Also, this guy is so desperate to sound like Super Troll and Major Arsehole Mr. Metica, it's kind of sad.
After that fucking bastard posted something to Doom threatening my work if I talk to him, he went off on him on air. That's what fucking started it. That's why he went off on him, was to defend me and my work.
Anger killed him?
Fuck you, Testify.
He's dead.
Fuck you, bastard.
DED. Dead.
Wow. Are you guys seeing this? Are you seeing this?
Yeah. No humanity whatsoever.
Utter
He's
disrespect.
a psychopath, dude. He's a psycho. Dope rapist. I'm sorry. I have no.
You do realize.
I'm not asking you to respect the man. I'm asking you to have some humanity.
Completely being destroyed right now.
Well, when can I make fun of him?
Right,
there is no making fun of him.
My work. You're hot as fuck for
dead.
what they said about me, aren't you? Oh yes, I'm fucking absolutely fucking pissed.
Rosetta, you're a whore.
He hated you. The reason he went off on you is because you tried to use me to threaten him.
Wow.
Fuck you.
Wow.
See? And that's true passion from a friend.
Randy's about to mentally break.
Attacking his death.
I can say, as far as the war campaign thing goes,
as I'm laying in bed fucking morning.
I have it on
DED. Dead.
Have you ever been diagnosed
as a psychopath?
Talk.
A similar thing happened with Hayden Nation, a band of YouTubers who react almost solely to Amberlynn Reid and Chantal Marie. I'll include a video in the description by Introvert Queen which explains the bizarre ins and outs of the craze. It seems when a community is formed purely from negativity with no underlying goal, nothing positive can grow from it. Comicsgate can say that they're just trying to improve the comic industry all they like, and Hayden Nation can say that they're just trying to help these girls and promote better health or point out their errors. But after the 100th meme about a female creator or reaction video laughing at their big legs and mundane lives, can they honestly say that this is what they're doing? At its core, although being an anti-fan is something most of us engage in from time to time, it's an unhealthy pursuit when taken too far. It's one thing to counter political arguments or harmful activities from the same person several times, but when you're just saying lol fat over and over or targeting someone's gender identity, who's really winning here? I don't have all the answers, and I'm certainly not perfect or exempt from doing this, but it might be nice if we make the effort to at least be aware of when we or others are crossing the line. Okay, that's my video on the Antifan. I will see you very soon. I have an awful lot of writing to get done, but I will be about. Head to my Twitter, link in description. Okay, goodbye.